Alright everyone, what is up? Welcome to game number 13 of the World Championship Series. Just making sure I have my number right. Yeah, today's going to be 13. And today we had Ian with the white pieces. The score was tied 6-6. Ding got the win yesterday. And we start with e4. And I am using the elite chess again because it's 9:30 in the morning, so the game just finished. Chess.com normally takes a little bit of time with their analysis to come out, but I just needed the board really, so I'm borrowing lead chess. We get e4, e5, knight to f3, knight c6. This is what Ian has played pretty much every single time. I think he played d4 like on one occasion or something, and he got absolutely rolled, so he has not brought it out since. Alright, and again, I've said this every video, but he's played a couple different moves, I think, in this position. So I wonder which one he's going to go with here. But most likely he's been going d3. Yep, he goes d3 again. We get b5. This is all exactly what they've played every time before. We get d6. c3. Castles. h3. Bishop to b7. Bishop to e3. Knight threatens the bishop, so bishop just drops back one. We see c5, taking some more space on the center. Knight to d2. Rook comes over to e8. This is all normal stuff still. Now we get a4, trying to break up this pawn chain. We see h6, preventing both the knight and the bishop from coming to that g5 square. We see d4. Captures, 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 captures. He takes with a knight, freeing his queen, not letting any of this become a possibility. So it's going to be harder for this knight to get into the game. It might have to go through like h7 or something, just to let the bishop come out. Knight comes over to c4. I wonder if we're going to see a capture here. We do. Pawn captures back. Then we see f3. And it looks like the computer didn't really like that move too much. They're saying that b3 is best. I guess they kind of want to contest this pawn right away, which makes sense because this bishop isn't looking at a whole lot of anything. Whereas b3, if you could grab this pawn, then you're looking pretty handsomely at the king right there on a very nice diagonal. We see bishop to f8, bishop to f2, a bit of maneuvering. And then we get d5. Captures, knight captures, bishop comes over to e4, rook comes to e5. So it seems like black is pretty happy in this position right here. Generally, white wants to be pretty happy, at worst, and then at best it wants to, be pressing some sort of attack. But it seems like he's kind of been on the back foot this game so far, Nepo. Rook comes over to c4, rook to c8. Knight drops back. Queen comes to e7. And I'm a little confused as this because I don't think this is a sacrifice that you want to be making at the moment. You don't really get too much out of it. Queen comes over to d4 regardless, just to protect that. Pawn comes over to f5. We see the bishop come to g3. And I actually wonder... Okay, I was going to say that you're getting two bishops for the rook, and that's fine, but I forgot that the queen is defending right there. So it's just going to be threat levels. Rook is going to have to either take the exchange or move back a square. And he does take the exchange. Queen takes here, takes. Okay, so it looks like he's up the exchange right now, in exchange for a pawn. Rook comes over to d1. Knight to b4. Rook gets on the 7th rank. It's its favorite place to be. Bishop comes to c5. A little check thrown in, so king has to move over to h2. You don't really want to move to h1 just because this is an annoying diagonal. Not to mention, I think it was Fabi who said it on the broadcast because I tuned in at some parts to this game later on. And he was saying that in general, in the late game, if you have this h3 or h6, whatever those corner pawns are raised for the king, You generally want to go there if possible, just because sometimes the easiest way for you to get out of that position is going to be through G3 or G6. And otherwise, your king is not going to be quite as active in the late game. But we get bishop coming to C6. So this pawn is hanging this whole time, but he's just like having different threats so that Nepo can never really grab that pawn. He offers a trade, and Ding accepts. And remember, the more pieces that get traded off, the more this rook is going to be an advantage in the late game. So that's probably part of why the eval bar is pretty happy here. Now he has to defend the pawn, though. I wonder if we're going to see like knight here or something, for example. Oh, other way around. Okay. We'll threaten those there. Again, threat levels. He's going to threaten the rook instead. Rook's going to move out of the way. Bishop is going to move back. Pawn is going to improve to A5. King is going to start getting out. Rook comes over to E2. Knight threatens it. And here we might see another exchange where basically Nepo takes his pawn and bishop back and gives away his rook, and he's possibly looking at yet another pawn. I wonder if we'll see that variation occur. No. Does the computer... Oh. Let me go back to where I was. I want to see if the computer liked my idea. I don't know if this is active or not, but if it is, then it's pretty happy there. Let me test to see if it's actually happy. I'll just do a nonsense move. Alright, I don't think this actually affects it at all. But my guess would be that you would just take captures, captures, and then this pawn cannot move. You could protect it with like a bishop move, for example. But, actually, I don't know. Maybe that's not so good for white, because the king is more active in that case. But anyway, Nepo moved to E1, knight moved to D3, we get E2, back to C1, back to E1, and looks like we have a repetition and a draw. So I don't think this game was quite as exciting as the last one, not only because that one had a decisive result, but I think that both sides were kind of pressing for a win at some point. And this one, like I said, it seemed like one side was in like the driver's seat for part of the game, but I don't think that either side was necessarily winning or pressing for a win at any point. So yeah, we're tied at 6.5 to 6.5. We have game 14 tomorrow, and again, I don't actually know how the tie breaks are going to work for this, but as of now, tomorrow is going to be the last game of a classical time format that I understand, and then perhaps like an Armageddon or something, or some rapid. But yeah, tomorrow should be exciting, and Ding actually has the white pieces, although both sides have won when Ding was on white. Nepo was able to pick up a nice win on black. But yeah, that was a good game, and I will catch you guys for the next one.